From an early level, English students learn to add s at the end of verbs if the subject is third person singular.
Yeah, but I forgot what that means.
They also know to add s at the end of plural nouns.
That's a lot of s's.
So it's common to make mistakes by having too many or too few s's.
Oops.
Luckily, there's a simple trick to help students catch those mistakes.
Oh, good.
Consider this sentence.
My cat loves string.
Suppose your students know all the words and the order needed for the sentence, but they also know that words change sometimes, which can make things tricky.
1 cat, 2 cats, 3 cats.
First,
4
we
cats,
add an s
5
to
cats,
nouns that are
6
plural.
cats, 7
But verbs can change too.
She loves, he loves, and it loves.
Verbs that follow third-person singular subjects need an s at the end, but verbs that follow plural subjects
We, you, and they love.
don't have an s at the end. So, love and other verbs sometimes have an s at the end, but sometimes not. Even though students have learned the rules,
We can say cat or cats.
it can be hard to keep it all straight when making a sentence.
We can say love or loves.
So, if they're not paying very close attention, they might get it wrong, even if they actually know the right way to do it. But here's a nice trick.
Look at the s's.
Notice that if there's only one s,
Cat loves and cats love.
it's correct. But with no s or more than one s, it's wrong.
It's the one red S rule.
When writing simple sentences in the present tense, teachers and students should use a red pen, pencil, marker, or chalk for every s that's added to the end of a subject or verb.
Pirates has a red S.
Taking the action to switch colors can help students think about whether they need an s instead of just using one automatically.
We already have an S, so I can't add another one.
If there wasn't an s at the end of pirates, we would need to add one to swim. The colors also help us find mistakes after sentences are written. It's easy to see if a sentence has no red s
Those ones are wrong.
or if it has too many red s's.
Those are wrong too.
The correct sentences are the ones with only one red s. Now, there are some exceptions. For example, verbs following first person and second person singular pronouns
I and you.
don't need an s. So those sentences have no red s's.
But they are correct.
Also, keep in mind that some irregular plurals don't have an s at the end.
1 child, 2 children. 1 mouse, 2 mice.
But since they are plural, the verbs that follow don't have an s either. So again, there's no red in these sentences. But this is interesting. Our special and very common verbs
Are and is, do and does, have and has.
end with s only for the ones that go with third-person singular subjects.
Like she is, he does, and it has.
So the one red s rule still works for these.
That makes it easier.
These special verbs can be the main verb of a sentence, or they can be helping verbs, which leads us to another application of the one red s rule. Do and does is mostly used in questions and negative sentences.
Does Kendall like olives? No, Kendall doesn't like olives.
So far, we've looked at positive sentences, but the rule applies to questions and negative sentences as well.
There's still only one red S. It's just in a different place.
If you have 2 or more red s's, the sentence is wrong. If you don't have any red s's, the sentence is wrong.
You need one, but only one.
If your verb phrase needs an s, it should go to the helping verb,
Like does.
if you have one, instead of the main verb. So while students learn rules like verbs following third-person singular subjects need an s,
That's hard to remember.
and verbs don't need an s after plural subjects, and if you have a helping verb, the main verb should not have an s.
Oh, that's a lot.
The key thing to remember is this. Only use one red s,
Yeah, I can do that.
and that will solve a lot of problems.